For years, I thought my neighbor was the grumpiest man in the world. He lived alone, rarely spoke to anyone, and always kept his curtains closed. People in the neighborhood constantly came up with stories about him. Some claimed he was secretly wealthy. Others believed he had done something terrible in his past. The truth was that nobody really knew who he was. Whenever children played near his house, he would quietly watch them from the window. That only made people trust him even less. Over time, he became the neighborhood mystery that everyone talked about, but no one actually understood. One evening, as I was coming home from work, I noticed smoke coming from his house. Without thinking twice, I ran toward the property and immediately called the fire department. By the time help arrived, the smoke had grown thicker. When firefighters finally got inside, they found him unconscious. He spent several days in the hospital. Since he didn't have any close family members nearby, I ended up helping him with some paperwork and everyday tasks. That's when I learned the truth. The man everyone judged had spent more than 30 years caring for his daughter, who suffered from a severe illness. He had given up friendships, vacations, opportunities, and much of his own life to be by her side. She was his entire world. Then, 2 years earlier, she passed away. After losing her, he simply stopped seeing a reason to keep living the life he once knew. As the weeks went by, we slowly began talking more. One day he showed me old photographs. Another day he shared letters she had written to him. Then came boxes filled with memories, drawings, birthday cards, and family moments that nobody in the neighborhood had ever known existed. The man everyone described as cold and unfriendly had actually spent decades sacrificing everything for someone he loved. While people were busy creating rumors about him, he was carrying a pain most of us could never imagine. That's when I realized something important. Sometimes we mistake a person's silence for arrogance. Sometimes we mistake distance for rudeness. Sometimes we assume the worst about people simply because we don't know their story. But often, what looks like bitterness is actually grief. What looks like coldness is heartbreak. And what looks like someone who doesn't care may actually be someone who has loved more deeply than most of us ever will. Months later, he slowly started smiling again. He began spending time outside, talking to neighbors, and reconnecting with the world around him. The entire neighborhood started seeing him differently. But the biggest change happened in me, because I learned a lesson I'll never forget. Some of the people who seem the hardest to love are often carrying the most painful stories they've never told anyone.